As the leader of the democracy movement in Tiananmen Square 20 years ago, what is your most powerful memory from that time?
Well, there are many memorable moments, but there's one moment at the night of June 3rd and 4th when the massacre first started to take place. There's this girl got shot in her face, and it took me 4 years after I was exiled to find out her identity. She was 19 years old, first-year student in the university in Beijing, and I always thought to this date that bullet was meant for me.
And she died.
She died on the spot.
How would you describe the state of human rights in China today?
China is still a police state, despite its economical growth and its greater regional influence. So civil liberty, human rights are still very restricted, and arbitrary detention. There's very little freedom of press and speech and assembly.
Americans would probably think that the China of '89 is not the China of today. What would you say?
Well, it's true to the extent that China transformed itself from a completely self-righteous communist totalitarian regime into a government that's very pragmatic. They basically renegotiate their legitimacy in the last 20 years, following the massacre of '89, on two grounds. That's economic development and nationalism. These two things may not lead to a ultimate good society, but they are closer to human lives compared to Mao's China.
The internet didn't really exist back in 1989 when all of this was evolving. It does exist now. Has that changed anything in China? Does it encourage a free flow of information now within that country?
Well, it does to a certain extent with entertainment news, with social networks and so on. But you have to understand, China doesn't have internet. It has one big intranet. The entire Chinese few hundred millions of web users are using an internet that's connected to the outside world through several pipes that are completely filtered by the Chinese cyber police.
Well, say that on the anniversary, I decided to do a search for Tiananmen Square and what happened there in '89. What would I find?
Well, if you're inside China using Chinese internet services, you will find nothing other than the official version, which is a turmoil and political instance that was stopped right away by a small clique of people who were just trying to interrupt the social stability. Yeah, it's just only the official version.
What will be the legacy of Tiananmen Square?
Well, I think the short term is very clear that it does force the government to focus on major public issues and economic policies closer to Chinese people's lives. The long-term impact, we really don't know. I mean, we're too close. I think we're too close to French Revolution, let alone 1989. It's an extremely significant event for contemporary China, both symbolic and practical. And I think its impact will unfold in the next few decades.
Shen Tong, thank you very much for speaking with us tonight.
Good talking to you.